Hi, I'm Jill with Make It Pop Shoppe, and today I'm going to show you the Interchangeable Mini Basket set, and we're going to paint the insert for Thanksgiving. Let's go! Let's paint the Thanksgiving insert for this mini interchangeable basket set. It's so cute, I can't wait. I'm going to be using a lot of paint pens today in this project, but I didn't like the way the black was turning out, so I switched over to a matte black paint. And I'm using a sponge to apply it, which if you haven't seen this technique before, it works wonderful. It helps you keep the paint off the edges of your piece. I like the charred edges of the wooden pieces, so I like to try to keep my edges nice and clean. Next, I have to decide what color I want to paint this sash. I could go with a traditional white sash, but I think I'm going to try something different. Maybe a blue. Before I do that, I'm going to make this buckle in metallic gold. These paint pens come in lots of different colors, and metallic gold and metallic silver are two colors that usually come with a standard set of pens. You can get a set of these pens really cheaply on Amazon or your local craft store. I like the way that looks. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I like to do a couple coats with these paint pens, even though they do great with coverage. It's nice to put a little extra on there. So I've decided to do light tealish blue for this sash. These pens are Auroric paint pens. They're very affordable and they give great coverage and a nice glossy finish. So you may notice that there are score lines on our pieces. This helps making attaching the layer pieces a lot easier. I'm going to paint this dollop of whipped cream white. These Funsil brand markers that I found on Amazon are the best for white markers. I've tried several different brands, and this is by far my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and put some tape down, and this will help hold the piece down while I paint it. That's a little trick that works really well. I tape down a lot of my pieces while I'm painting. It'll save my fingers and it'll make my pieces look a lot nicer. Next, we're going to move on to the pumpkin pie slice. This is another brand that I have been trying. It's called Overseas. It's got a lot of really interesting colors, like this orange, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like it reminds me of like squash color, but I just really like it. Next, we're going to paint the crust of the pie, and I'm using Artistro, which is another really great brand. These are the smaller, really fine-lined markers that they sell. This is an ivory. Now I'm going to check and see if my pieces are lined up properly and if I'm missing any paint. I do see I'm missing some black, so I'm going to go ahead and go over it again. And while I'm at it, I'm going to do another coat. In fact, I'm going to do another coat on all my pieces. The great thing about these paint pens is they are so easy to use and they go on so quickly. Sometimes they can get a little sticky though because they have that glossy finish, so I use a heat gun to speed up the drying process in between coats. Oh yeah, that looks great. I love it. Okay, now it's almost time to glue. I'm just going to do some last finishing touches on these second layers of paint. And then we'll be ready to glue this all together. Sorry about the change in lighting. I'm still trying to figure out the best settings for taking videos for you. Okay, so now that I've done my 2 layers, I'm going to add some finishing touches. I want to do a splatter detail, so I'm going to take some black and some white and make a really pretty gray and add a little water to water it down. You want to take a stiff brush so that you can flick the paint onto your piece. The bristles have to be nice and tough so that they'll snap back and splatter well. Okay, I'm going to dab my brush in there, and I'm going to use my finger to pull back the bristles so that they will fling paint onto my piece, just like that. Now as it dries, it's going to look a little different. It'll be very muted. So if you want it to be brighter, you need to lighten up your color. Yep, that looks good. Okay. So now I would like to do the pumpkin slice as well. I'm going to do a lighter color for this one. I'm going to do kind of a creamy color to match this color better. Yep, just a little bit of light creamy white color. And let's dry it to make sure we like what it looks like. And now it's time to glue. Loctite glue is great for these small wooden projects. Put a little bit of glue on your piece and then tap it off on a paper towel or a piece of paper and then set it on the piece you want to glue to. This will help get off a little bit of the excess. Looks good. Okay, now let's put it on our other piece. Tap that down, put it on the sash, and now on the hat. I'm going to grab the paint pens once again, and I'm going to add just some final touches. Some little squiggly lines, a little bit of dotting, just to give it a little bit of dimension or highlighting. If you don't like it, you can always paint over it. Okay, a little bit on the hat here. Highlight here and there, just to give it a little bit of a look. Go over that part one more time, and we're finished. Shout out to the designer of this adorable file, Lucky Hearts Designs. I just love it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.